or maybe you're running a promotion that doesn't sit well with your customers. Your customer support team is going to know everything, and they're going to be the ones that are working directly with marketing, working with all parts of your business to make sure that you understand exactly what's going on. And if your customers are, churning, to really understand how to drive up that retention and what you guys can be doing better. And then another piece is getting the right staffing. So we already see that there's going to be about an 80% growth in support volume. So that means on average, tickets per agent are going to be around 80. So making sure that you can manage that. And TJ, I wanted to ask you, how do you guys manage that within your team? Do you guys how do you deal with the big influx of volume?
Well, you've already spoken about things like tagging and just other key aspects of that. But I'll say for us is having the right customer support team. So right before the busy season, getting the right guys on board, even if they're temps, but training them to understand your brand language and what exactly your customer, different inquiries that your customer might be looking for. So on our end, we have the right team, and then we have team round the clock, because we're now in a digital world, if I'm allowed to say. So 6 p.m. here is not 6 p.m. where, for example, maybe where Nicole is, and it's not 6 p.m. in Taiwan. But you want to make sure that no matter the time the customer comes aboard, you will try to have the right information for them. So we have the overnight, the overnight team, the morning team, the afternoon team, and the evening team. Now, can every company afford this? Not necessarily, but also making sure that key points are in place. So, for example, if you have your live chat, pointing out, so if your live chat is allowed to say, we're offline right now, but for shipping inquiries, visit this link. Customer service, visit this link. For sizing inquiries on our end, for example, visit this link. Just little influxes like that and just little tips like that help the customer navigate the journey easier, if I'm allowed to say.
Absolutely. I think when customers are coming to your website, they want answers. They're not going to wait on your website for 10 minutes. So making sure that you can really upsell them when you're offline is going to be key. And that's what we're going to get to now. How do you actually drive revenue in this time? So we found that the conversion rate on chats and SMS responded to in 10 minutes is actually 28%. So pre-sale chats are conversations with customers that either haven't purchased from you in the last 30 days or they're new customers. We found about 50% of those converted. So in last December. So the total sales from support were actually $22,000 when you respond within 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So the quicker your first response time, the higher you're going to have conversion. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Of course, we can't all respond within that 2-minute time period. There's small businesses up to larger periods, but that's the goal, is to make sure the quicker you can respond, most likely someone's going to resonate with that and going to want to stay a customer with you. And then the last piece is really just about omni-channel experience. So making sure you're everywhere. That includes chat, as TJ mentioned. That includes Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you can be. Those are all support channels. So, for us, we integrate with SMS, phone, chat. We give you a chat out of the box. And chat is really useful. One thing you can do there is you can do an objection busting statement. Why is the customer coming to your site? TJ, for example, what is a reason that your customers come to your website? What do you know about the customer of why they shop with you?
Okay, so I feel like I've spoken about chat during the whole time, but
Yeah.
the most interesting thing about Gorgias, if I'm allowed to say, is chat automatically converts to email, which automatically pulls up the customer information, which just brings in everything. So from one chat, from a customer saying hi and sending their email, you're able to see the history, their journey, what exactly, in the case that maybe they've previewed certain pages, what they've previewed if they've purchased before, what they've ordered, all that kind of stuff. And I think that really helps. It's very essential, and then you're able to continue and direct that conversation. So
For
whether
sure.
it be through, continuing through Facebook, through social media, or through your loyalty program, however you choose to, I think that really, really helps and is essential.
Yeah, and exactly how you said, knowing the context of the customer. So here we see Richard says, these shoes are made with 100% cruelty-free faux leather. If you know your customers are coming for a reason, whether it's an ethical reason, whether it's a cultural reason, making sure that you make that so visible so that it feels super personalized. Here's another example of, here we see usually women go half a size up. We actually had a shoe partner. They had a lot of returns based on shoe size. And what we did is we put in this chat and then they ordered a size up, or they recommended they order a size up to help them with their purchase. So you can do that for sizing issues. You could do specific discounts like 20% off your next order, or you could highlight reviews. So really making it easy for the customer to come back to you. Facebook Messenger, probably our number one most, our highest volume channel. People love Facebook Messenger. So if you're not on it, definitely look into it. When you're running ads on Facebook, what's great is here you see 10% off your purchase. In order to really drive up that retention and drive up that conversion, you actually want to flow them into a customer support view. So like TJ said earlier, you can have context on that customer. Now you have their email, now you have their information, so you can re-engage with them, guide them through the entire process, and make sure that you can purchase or guide them through their purchase. The last piece, or the last two pieces, I should say, is so with Facebook and Instagram, we can actually identify with Gorgias, is it a positive inquiry? Is it a negative inquiry? Is it a question? Bucket those into 3 different filters. And then what you can do is you can actually bucket those so that you can upsell. So your customer support team can tag, if Megan's tagging all her friends, now you want to respond to all of them and give them all 10% off, not just one person. So again, social leads, like those are qualified social leads. Same thing with negative comments. You can like them, you can hide them, you can respond to them directly from Gorgias rather than having to go to email, chat, Facebook, Instagram. It's all in one view. So making sure you're really prioritizing those when you're getting to them, because negative comments can really hurt your business. Last piece is SMS. So making sure that you can target, your friends or your customers on SMS is probably the number one most key channel. We see a lot of customers nowadays actually respond better to SMS. They like using SMS. If you think about yourself, phones are the new generation. We use email a lot. And nowadays, I think the new switch is going to be SMS, so you can send these beautiful gifts. TJ, what channels are you guys currently implemented on? Is it mainly chat and email?
It's only chat and email, but based on our last conversation, I'll tell you that we're launching SMS for our Black Friday campaign.
Oh, awesome. I love that. So you know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. We're testing it out, and if it does well, Nicole, I owe you one.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so definitely check out SMS, as you heard TJ's doing that as well. And these are some merchants that we work with, some bigger ones. And again, we work with brands, similar to TJ's brand, as well as up to Princess Polly, Steve Madden's. And these are the 3 help desks. This is my email, so definitely email me after. And then TJ, you should write yours in the chat. So you guys should email him if you have questions on his brand. I know we wrote it in the chat as well, and you can get a free month for joining Gorgias as well, or joining this event and webinar. So I definitely am excited that we were here to chat with you guys, and we'll leave it open for questions if you have any. I think you're on mute.
Right. Well, that was supposed to happen. All right. So great presentation. Thank you. Thank you. It was awesome. I love the fact that you complemented each other with key facts that you actually did together. Nice.
For sure. Yeah. And TJ, I don't know, maybe it would be helpful to understand like why it's so important for you guys for customer support and how that can be like a sales channel. Like, is that something that you feel like, besides just, having a tool in place, like what is really like a key value that you teach your entire team?
I think on our end, what it is when you walk into a physical store, so a physical retail store, the first person that comes up to you is, the sales associate. Hi, how can I assist you? And, even when you're checking out, sometimes they'll tell you, please tell them at checkout that my name was, for example, Nicole, and I assisted you. We want to keep that relationship online. We want them to feel like, yes, you're inquiring with us, you're buying from us, but you still have that personalized touch. I have customers that call from 3 years ago and say, I want to talk to TJ. It's not, TJ is nobody special, if I'm allowed to say, but, TJ gave them such great customer service and such great assistance, that they come back. So that I would say, just leaving that relationship, and sometimes they might not even be buying that minute, but just because of the experience, just because, of the deliverable, they would say, okay, if I ever come back to this brand, this is the person I'm looking for, and this is the reason why. You want to leave a lasting impression with the customer. customer. And then, it's not about saying, oh, we're offering 50% off. It's about saying we're offering 50% off towards the pillowcase that you're looking for, and towards, the next pillowcase that you might want to buy next year. Make sure you come back to us. And also, I will still be here to assist you. I think that's very essential with customer service.
Yeah, 100%. I think so too. And I think the last key about that is actually two things. So one is bring your retail experience online. We saw with COVID, everyone is moving online. So really emulating that is going to be super key. And then the second piece is if you think about yourself, I like using this example. If you eat at a restaurant and you have bad service, you're probably not going to want to go back. But if you have really great service, you're probably going to want to go back. So, you could have really great food and terrible service, and it'll totally impact your experience. And same thing goes for shopping online. If it's really complicated, really hard, so get the right tools in place, or at least check out what's out there. There's some really inexpensive options and tools, and also just like really quick wins, as TJ expressed, that you can teach your entire team to understand why customer support is so important, because the one way to differentiate yourself is through your brand voice, through online, through your customer support team who's breathing your brand day in, day out. Voila. Final word.
Awesome. We are waiting for questions from the audience, but until then, I do have a question myself. Nicole, given your experience so far, would you say that there are different industries that react differently to your solution?
So what's interesting about our solution is we're pretty like omni-channel, or I guess like brand agnostic, because for us it's really about, if you have an e-commerce site, you have support tickets. It makes sense, something like a high value item that's bought online is probably going to have a lot of returns. A snack product might not have as many returns, but we get a lot of CPG products recently because everyone was hoarding snacks. And, through this COVID period, toilet paper was huge. So I think it's really just about what your product is. And, if you're having a ton of returns, like definitely don't be responding to every single return inquiry at once. But if you're like me, I like to order, and then 3 days later, I'm like, where's my order? And I'm sure a lot of people are like that. So it could be really any type of brand. And we also, our pricing is based on volume. So if you have a high pricing, it's per ticket, versus lower volumes is going to be less pricing. So that's why we scale with that. And again, our tool can be used for anyone, even a lot of content moderators as well, who are just running Facebook or Instagram ads, who want to hide all the negative comments, or they want to respond and understand why they're having negative comments. So it's really an amazing tool. So there's a lot that you can apply, even if you're not seeing that volume or just want to use it for yourself and test it out.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So if there are no more questions from the audience, I would say that this is it, right? Oh, there you go. We have something for TJ. Any tips for exceptional customer service, since you've been doing it for a long time? So let me rephrase. Do you have any tips for how to get exceptional customer service?
I'll be honest, have the right team and have the right help desk. Before Gorgias, I was lost. And this is just me being transparent. I had to be on my phone all the time, on Instagram, and then I'll have another person, on Facebook, and then, would have live chat from a different platform. So first things first, I put together was the right team, making sure I was able to transfer my knowledge to my team and making sure that, they were adequately able to accept that. And then just finding the right help desk. The minute Gorgias came on board and the minute, that integration came, we were just able to run. We were able to be like, okay, we understand our customer better. We understand our customer journey. We have, everything in one. And I think that really, really helped. I'll be honest with you.
Awesome.
TJ,
cool. Thank you.
Heard it from him first. Quotes. Write it down.
That was a really good sales pitch.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of fun together. TJ is definitely one of our favorites for sure.
Well, about fun, we do have one more question. TJ, do you remember any memorable conversation that you guys had on your chat?
I'm trying to think of which one to give. I think one would be competing, and maybe this is another topic for another day. But when someone tries out a competing brand and wants to compare, so they want to be like, okay, for example, I went to XYZ and now I'm here. What's the difference between you guys? And how do you handle that? So it's not about putting the other brand down, but it's about, as Nicole said earlier, upselling yourself. So saying, hi, we offer this, we offer that, depending on what you're looking for. In our case, we offer swimwear, we offer ready to wear, we offer custom made clothes. So it depends on what you're looking for. We have locations around the world. Right now, we have popular stockists like Farfetch and Revolve carrying our brand. So it's about, upselling yourself and just saying, because, from time to time, occasionally, we have other people come to us and say, okay, I heard about you guys. I buy from XYZ a lot. Why should I switch to you guys? And I'm like, well, we're not saying switch, but it's better on this side.
I also will say that's something I tell you to practice is write it, test out what your customer or your competitors are doing. If you're like competing with TJ's brand, probably not gonna win against that. So like knowing that like what your competition is doing, how their support is super important, because that's often why customers are coming back and why they're gaining traction. So yeah, definitely check out Andrea Iyamah. So make sure that you can buy something and definitely talk with TJ further. And I think we saw one question that said, is Gorgias integrated with WooCommerce? It is not as of this year. Next year, it's definitely on our list. We're mainly with Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce as of right now. But with the pace we're going, we have it on the roadmap now, which is exciting.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you, guys. It's been really good. And yeah.
Thank you all for having us. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to definitely continue this for the next one.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks a lot. Well, this was it, guys. This was the summit for the day. We do have the closing statement. So if you guys are gonna stick with us for a little while, we'll just go in a very, very short break, and then we'll be back with just the closing statement and a brief presentation of what's gonna happen tomorrow. So thank you again, Nicole and TJ. You've been awesome.
Thanks.
Bye.